channel. We're glad to have you here today. My name is Toby, and this is
Faith.
some girl I met on the road the other day. But we make a great team, and we are going to be speaking to you on just the learning process and creating lesson notes. And our focus in this video is how teachers can integrate cultural and social trends into their lesson plans. I remember about maybe a couple of years ago, I had to create edit content for the Diaper Kids Learning application, and it struck me in the moment just how important it was to integrate cultural trends into lessons. So imagine as a teacher that your topic is to teach mechanized farming, for instance, and there's a lot happening, and Africa has a very vibrant cultural heritage, and a lot of things happen socially, and so we're going to teach you how to integrate that into creating a lesson.
Okay, so we can shake this up a little bit, and you can think about what state you come from. Most states would have some form of farming. So do you know what festivals? There's the New Yam Festival in Nigeria. Do you know what states have the New Yam Festival? Do you know what festival goes on in your state because there's farming? Most states would have some festival that relates to harvest or seed time or planting season. Most states do. We have that. Do we know that? In fact, outside of the New Yam Festival, do you know what else happens in, say, Ondo State, for instance, or Ogun State? So you can drop in the comments what happens in your state around planting season or harvest season.
Yeah. Let us know how much of your culture that you know, because we know our culture, at least I know where I'm from.
Yes.
My mom told me. So yeah, you can just go ahead and drop your comments in the comment section.
But let's remember that the focus is how to incorporate culture and social trends into the curriculum for schools.
That's right. So let's say that you're a teacher and you have to create a mechanized farming. Here are a few things to consider. One of the first things is, right now, the social trend is agriculture is really big right now, and people are big on whole foods, on not eating certain type foods that are processed. You must have seen this guy on social media yelling at all of us.
When I studied nutrition, brown rice is better than white rice. Guys, it isn't. They're the same thing. Brown rice is not good for you, and white rice is not good for you. They raise your blood sugar and they raise your blood insulin. If you want to eat rice, eat white rice, because they're both as bad, and white rice tastes nicer. Brown rice tastes like cardboard.
So this guy is going on and on about, eating healthy, eating real food, eating eggs. So maybe all of us just need to have full cheese at the moment. But that's a trend. So if you want to integrate that into your lesson and you want your children to remember, you probably want to, I don't think that playing Eddie Abu in a classroom will work. He swears a lot.
Yes.
But it's a trend and everybody's talking about eating healthy.
Okay, so how can teachers infuse culture into, say, mechanized farming, mechanized agriculture?
Yeah.
We can have case studies, tell a story. You can have images of a home garden. You can look for pictures that talk about traditional agricultural tools and how these tools have evolved to motorized farming and the practices that farmers have, what they had before and what they have today.
Sure.
So our case study could be farmers in the Middle Belt, right? This image here now shows historical tools used by farmers.
Yeah.
This other one reflects more modern tools. Your lesson can show that evolution. This other image shows harvesting festivals that farmers engage in.
Yeah.
And then you can see another image of a parent gardening with their child.
Yeah.
I grew up with a mom who used to farm almost everything from peppers to vegetable. I only learned later in my adult years to buy vegetables from outside because we have
everything
is growing. We know how to take care of our plants and our seeds and our food and grow our food ourselves, and we can bring that into the curriculum and show the children how to do just that for themselves. Yeah.
So essentially, your lessons do not have to be boring. So you can't just come into class and be like, so in 1994, this is how planting was done. And in 2023, this is how it's done. So basically, it's drawing in the cultural experiences and all the ways that the farming has evolved. So even the way that some of these festivals and some of these procedures were done, has changed, has evolved. And I like to remind teachers that when you're teaching, of course, you have to take note of keywords, and that really organizes your lesson. Let's not forget that. I'll do a quick recap. So find keywords, think about the trends. The trend is in agriculture right now is wholesome foods, healthy, unprocessed meals. And the cultural practices surrounding farming sometimes or includes things like the New Yam Festival. And I know that even in more riverine areas, they do fishing. And then, there's a lot of spirituality that goes in there. So these are the stories that you can draw into your lesson plan when you're teaching. The topic is mechanized farming. You could have come in and just talked about, or show them an axe or something. This is the tool that was used, and now we just use tractors. But you can spice up your lesson and, make sure that there's memory and your children remember by talking about the social trends, by talking about the culture that is tied to farming. Does that drive home the point?
Yes, it does. Also, to immerse your learners in the experience, you could get them to plant something.
Absolutely.
Get them to be in charge, kind of be the parents of the plant.
Right.
Watch a fast-growing plant grow, and that way you're also helping them understand eating healthy, eating real food, understanding that they can also grow their food, and what comes out of the ground is very healthy for them. So you can help them, let them see, let them get their hands dirty, and show them that this is how food is grown, right? And it's not a far-fetched.
It's not a far-fetched idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a really memorable way to teach. And by the end of a lesson like that, your children would have learned the agricultural hub. For instance, if you're a teacher in Africa, your children would have learned the agricultural hub in Nigeria, for instance, is in the Middle Belt. So you would have drawn inferences from other things in just teaching mechanized farming. And, in a lesson like that, they would have learned about, maybe we should have people tell us about, areas that farming is done from wherever you're watching from. You could just write down in the comment section how the culture around farming has evolved. I know that in some countries and some areas, it's always a family thing.
Yes.
So you have a whole family trying to plant certain type foods, living in a particular community, and, aside from with the big companies taking and just have a massive faceless plantation, but there's always stories around agriculture.
Also, I think that different states have different perspectives or cultures around farming. I have been in a state where their daily life, even for children, is not school, it's farming.
Right.
Yes, so they do school in the afternoon, farming in the morning. So it's like
your whole life revolves around
right? So we can also teach children to understand some of this diversity. That was my first time learning about that. And let them understand how it's done in different states. You can put in the comment section here if you know a difference, where it's done, where you come from. Is it a daily thing? Is it a family thing? Do they sell farms to other families? Do you have a farm that you had to sell to another? I have my story about farming and and all of that. So if you put this into the curriculum, into a lesson, you would have
a very rich experience.
Yes, your children will have an amazing experience just knowing about that.
True. So imagine, for a topic as seemingly boring as mechanized farming, we've been able to bring in, draw in several aspects to make the lesson really fun and really memorable. So when we talk about things like this, it sounds really easy. We just said it in a few minutes. It's a lot of work for teachers to try to integrate all of these things that we've mentioned into a lesson note, into a period of learning. And thankfully, there's some, schools that are able to buy curriculums. Not all of them go as far as incorporating culture and social trends into their lessons, but there are presently new tools, AI tools, that can help a teacher to, gather your information and have your lesson notes done in a very short time. So in the part 2 of this series, we will show you how to create a lesson plan that integrates culture, integrates social trends in under 20 minutes. Amazing.
That's amazing. If you enjoyed this episode of the show, please like, subscribe, and comment.
And if you want us to talk about any topic at all, Let us know in the comment section. Thank
Thank you.
you.